Hey there, let's talk about something that pretty much every cat owner has to deal with at some point: fleas. I know, it's a stressful topic, but don't worry, we're going to break down everything you need to know to get your cat happy, comfortable, and most importantly, itch-free. So, does this seem a little too familiar? You see your cat just scratching away. Maybe they're licking the same spot over and over, or they just can't seem to get comfortable. It's really easy to just brush it off, but that right there, that's often the very first sign that you've got some tiny, uninvited house guests. If you're thinking it might be fleas, the first thing you need to hear is that you are definitely not alone. It's a super common problem, and it has nothing to do with how clean you or your home are. By the time we're done here, you're going to understand exactly what you're up against and, more importantly, how to win. Okay, let's get into it. To really beat fleas, you have to understand them first. It's not just about the little bugs you might see hopping around. There's this whole secret life cycle happening behind the scenes, and knowing about it is the key to getting everything under control. So, meet the main culprit, the cat flea. And fun fact, despite its name, it's actually the most common flea we find on both cats and dogs. They're tiny, they don't have wings, and they are incredibly fast, which is exactly why they can be so tough to actually see in your cat's fur. And here it is. This is probably the single most important thing you need to grasp. The adult fleas you might catch a glimpse of on your pet, they are just a tiny, tiny fraction of the real problem. The full-blown infestation is so much bigger. And check this out. This really puts it in perspective. Only about 5% of the entire flea problem is the adult fleas that are actually on your cat. The other 95%, the huge majority, is made up of eggs, larvae, and pupa. And where are they? They're hiding in your house, in your carpets, your furniture, even your bedding. So how does that 95% get there? Well, a single adult flea can lay dozens of eggs a day right on your cat. But those eggs, they're not sticky. They just fall off all over your home. Then they hatch into larvae, which then spin a tough little cocoon called a pupa. And this pupa stage, this is the flea's secret weapon. It can just sit there dormant for months, waiting for the vibration or warmth of a potential host, your cat, or even you, to walk by. All right, now that you know what's going on behind the scenes, let's talk about what you can actually see. We're going to turn you into a little bit of a flea detective, so you can spot all the classic signs on your own cat. So the most obvious sign is that constant, intense scratching or nibbling. You might even notice your cat is grooming themselves so much that they're actually creating bald spots. You might also see some red, angry-looking skin or little scabs. And you'll want to keep a close eye out for something called flea dirt. It just looks like tiny black specks of pepper scattered in their fur. Now, for some cats, this is way more than just a few annoying bites. They can actually develop something called flea allergy dermatitis, or FAD. This is a serious allergic reaction to the proteins in flea saliva. For a cat with FAD, it can take just one single flea bite to set off a chain reaction of miserable, widespread itching and skin damage. In fact, it's the most common skin disease we see in cats. So, not sure if those little black specks are flea dirt or just, regular dirt? Here's a super simple test you can do at home. Just get a white paper towel and gently comb your cat's fur over it. Let any of those black specks fall onto the paper, and then add a couple drops of water. If they start to dissolve and turn into reddish-brown streaks, well, that's your proof. It's flea dirt, which is basically just digested blood. Okay, so you've done the test and you've confirmed it's fleas. Now what? Your veterinarian is going to be your most important partner in this, because getting rid of fleas for good requires a coordinated attack. Think of it like a two-front war. You've got to fight the fleas on your pet and the ones that are multiplying in your home. And it is absolutely critical that you do both of these things at the same time. If you only treat your cat, it's kind of like bailing water out of a boat but forgetting to plug the hole. You have to get rid of the adult fleas on your pet and wipe out all those developing stages in your house. That's the only way to truly break the life cycle. When it comes to your cat, your vet is going to recommend a product that really works. They're just much more effective and reliable than a lot of the stuff you'll find over the counter. And listen, this part is non-negotiable. You have to treat every single pet in the house. Even if your other cat or your dog isn't scratching, trust me, if one has fleas, they all have fleas. Oh, and your vet might also suggest a dewormer because fleas can carry tapeworms. Now for your home, your new best friend is the vacuum cleaner. I mean it. Vacuum every day, especially the spots where your cat loves to hang out. And as soon as you're done, either throw out the bag or empty the canister outside. Wash all the bedding, your pet's and your own, in hot water. And then use a good household flea spray that your vet recommends to kill off those hidden eggs and larvae. We're almost there. Let's finish up with a couple of really crucial points: safety and persistence. Look, getting rid of a flea problem isn't something that happens overnight, but I promise you will get there if you just stick with the plan. Okay, I need you to listen very, very carefully to this. This is the single most important safety warning I can give you. Never, ever use a flea product that's made for a dog on your cat. Many dog products contain an ingredient called permethrin, and while it's safe for dogs, it is extremely toxic and can be fatal to cats. Always check the label. It's also really important to have realistic expectations. Remember those tough little pupae we talked about? They can keep hatching for weeks or even months. Because of that, it can take up to 3 months of consistent, diligent treatment of both your cat and your home to completely clear a bowed infestation. So please, don't get discouraged if you see a stray flea after a few weeks. Just stay the course. And really, that brings us to the most important takeaway of all. Once you've finally won the war against fleas, the real key is making sure you never have to fight it again. Consistent, year-round prevention is so much easier, cheaper, and way kinder to your cat than dealing with a full-blown infestation after it's already started. Remember, this information is for educational purposes and is not a substitute for professional veterinary advice. If you have any concerns about your pet's health, please consult with your certified veterinarian. They are your best resource for ensuring your companion lives a long, happy, and healthy life.